Let's see if I switch that over. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Because if you can, that means it's a wild thing. So you know what it is? It's the camera. Yes, sir. It's the camera. So, okay, well, help me out here. Let me know if you guys can hear me or not now. Can you hear me now? It's a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh my God. Okay. See, trying to do some different things. So I got the two cameras going here, right? I got the regular webcam here. I got the Osmo 5 here. And so I'm want to do this like, every other morning or something like that. So I got to figure all this stuff out, bro. I'm not good at this. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Anyway, we're going to trade the orb this morning because that's what I trade. I got a video dropping this afternoon from yesterday's video, and wasn't pretty, but Steven got on me, Tech and Effects got on me, a couple other people got on me. We're putting it out there, man. A lot of changes. Well, I don't know. You guys can watch the video. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, okay. Stop by, give it a thumbs up for 30 seconds, then y'all can bolt. Anyway, putting a lot more content. Going to put a lot more content on the Tesla Rideshare channel because that's what we gotta do, man. So if you guys are, and I realize I built the channel on rideshare content. I get it, and a lot of people expect to see rideshare content here, but a lot of things changing, man. A lot of things changing in the rideshare world, man. It's not the same, and it's not even about bitching and moaning and complaining. It's really not. It's more like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this is nothing like what a lot of us this is nothing like what we signed up for. And it seems like every other week rates are getting lower. I was talking with Steven, and he was telling me that, Steven, he's out of LA, right? He's in the LA market. He's running on the commercial supplement right now. Y'all see I got my coffee, right? Y'all see I got the coffee going, right? And they're already noticing, three of them are already noticing that Lyft has reduced the base rates already. So Lyft, the last few days, we're going to let that do that there. We're going to go look at the Lyft stock real quick. Lyft stock is going through the roof, right? Stock is going through the roof right now. Well, it looks like it's going to take a nosedive right now. But when we look at Lyft stock, right? So when we look at the chart on Lyft, all of a sudden they're back up over $20 a share. And the only things that have been happening is California passed that law or that bill or whatever, and they're going to allow drivers to unionize, and that's fine if you want to be in a union. I mean, that's to each their own. But they also, part of that union package was they got California to reduce the insurance limits on payouts. So in other words, the people in California, or the lawmakers in California, if you get hit in an accident, your fault, not your fault, whatever, but you're doing rideshare, whether you're driver, rider, whatever, they just cut how much you're entitled to, right? So Lyfts and Ubers and I guess DoorDash, I guess they're part of that. The payouts are now limited. They put a cap on it. And what if you got $1 million in damages, like not physical damage to your car, but like medical shit? Who do you sue? You can't sue Uber and Lyft because when you sign up on their apps, you have these arbitration agreements. Like I don't know about Lyft. Uber, you can opt out on it. Like I opted out on the arbitration, right? Do I ever think I'm going to need to sue Uber? I hope not, because I know it's going to be, I got to mortgage my fucking pension to fight their attorneys. We know what it is. But they lowered those insurance rates. And so now they're trying to get drivers. We talked about this a lot. They're trying to get drivers to, to get their own insurance. And Lyft is already cutting your throats. They're already lowering base fares overall. So if you have the insurance supplement, which is if you have your own commercial insurance, right? Well, you're still getting whatever their 15%, 10% bump, whatever the hell they were paying, which wasn't anything. Like I give Uber credit. If you're in LA, you get an extra $1. If you're outside of LA in California, you get 48 cents, whatever it is. Now, down here in Miami, they want to give us 26 cents. So they can, that ain't going to happen. But the point is I give Uber credit. At least they're for the time being trying to show you money. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I guess my point is, the CEO Risher went on to some forum and said, "Hey, we're going to save $200 million a year in insurance costs, and we're going to pass that savings right on to the driver." And we know that's not going to happen, right? That money's going to get absorbed into the profits. It's going to get absorbed into what they're doing, and it's just it's just not worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it. Anyway, Lyft stock is up, right? And God bless them. I don't see how or why, but their stock is up. So Uber stock, on the other hand, $93. It's teetering. It's holding that $90 area, that 90-ish area, right? They're doing good. But, and I haven't looked at the podcast yet with All In, with the former Uber founder and current shareholder, and now he's a big podcaster, I guess. When you got enough money, you can do anything instead of like little old me here. Bro, like he just told everybody on that podcast that the drivers in Austin are making more money. How the hell are they making more money, bro? Eddie's losing his ass. Eddie was $180,000 a year guy. Yeah, I'm seeing the tax returns, bro. If you guys know Eddie, Driving in Style, right, from YouTube, the original Tesla monster, because that's what he was. He'd get out there and he didn't care. He would do rides in the morning. Then he would go and he would do the food deliveries in the late morning, lunch, early afternoon. Then he'd switch back over to rides, and he'd be out there 10, 12 hours a day in his Model 3 Tesla, right? And he was hustling his ass off, and he was catching those, 80 trips for an extra $350, $450 Monday through Thursday, and then reset again. And he was doing $2,000 a week. That was only 3 years ago. You fast forward now, and he's pulling his hair out. He's going to have less hair than me. It's unreal, dude. Unreal. But yet, the CEOs of these companies, they go and they lied to the public. They absolutely lied to the public. That was one thing about that podcast that I heard about or read about. The other thing is that he was, again, Uber was making a pitch to Elon Musk and Tesla to allow the cybercabs onto the Uber network. Well, I can tell you right now, I don't have a lot of shares. I got a few shares. I don't have a lot of shares in Tesla. But I got a few. And, they're long-term holds, right? Don't touch them. Let them run. And right now they're doing well. But, bro, if Tesla gets in bed with Uber, I have to sell my shares. I love my Model Y. Absolutely love it. Might be top 2 cars I've ever owned. Ever. And I'm 57 years old. I've had a few cars. I'll get rid of it. I will run that bitch into a lake. I will get rid of it. If Tesla caves and gives in to Uber, we as drivers, we know what Uber is. They are self-serving. They are self-serving. They take more from both sides of the marketplace for themselves, for their business model is designed that way. And they can sit there with their legs crossed and looking all fancy and shit in their little podcasts and in their meetings and on CNBC, and they can come out in front of their, their minions, their puppets, engineers, that they bring in from overseas because they don't want to pay Americans to do the job. Don't get me started, but Thomas, because I know you're listening, Thomas, this is for you. I get all that, dude. You can sit there and want to be a Steve Jobs, and listen, Steve Jobs was an asshole, but at least Steve Jobs was innovating. He was innovating, right? We just saw what happened with Apple last week with their event. They got their ass handed to them. All they did was move the goddamn camera on the iPhone 17. Where's the innovation? Anyway, the point is, these CEOs can sit up there and look pretty all they want. We're the drivers. We know what's going on. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a Uber Lyft discussion. I really don't. We're here to trade the markets. And so that video that's going to drop this afternoon, MNQ. That video that's going to drop this afternoon, you guys can check it out if you want to. It's just what happened yesterday. It's just it's got to move anyway. It's just my day yesterday. What it's like to be a trader or a wannabe trader, because I'm only a wannabe trader, man. There's a lot of guys I watch throughout the day on YouTube. I talk with Eddie all the time, right? And Eddie was yelling at me to stop trading NQ. So real quick, the difference between NQ, which is NASDAQ futures, and MNQ. See, I just switched gears there. Is NQ, say, is 1. MNQ is 1/10 of NQ. So for every 10 MNQ contracts that I can trade, it would be the same price as one mini NQ contract, right? So micro, mini. Now, when I pass my evals, I'm always trading minis because it's different with the evals because you hit it and quit it, right? You still got to trade well, or else you get your ass handed to you, and you got to start over again. But with the micros, I was fighting it, and so far I've had a shitty week. Right? Yesterday I gave back $410. Day before I gave back $140. So, Eddie was like, "Man, quit trading the minis, start trading the micros. Quit trading the minis, start trading the micros." So I'm like, all right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna trade the micros, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, so we are here. We're set. We got our 15-minute orb set now, right? There's opening range high, opening range low. This would be yesterday's high, right? That's yesterday's high. This would be Asia low. These are just little reference points that we want to keep an eye on, right? When in doubt, look left, right? Let's bring up the 5-minute chart on top of this too, so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. Here's the 5-minute chart over here. There's a 1-minute chart over here. Listen, don't do shit I do. You see that thing down there? It says this is not financial advice. I am a noob. I am learning. I am less than a year into futures. And you say, well, Vinny, you've been doing it for a year. Yeah, okay. You understand how tough it is to trade? I don't think a lot of people understand how tough it is to trade futures. So what we're looking for is here's the setup. Right, boom. Okay. We're going to take this to here. Try to get a 2-to-1 out of this. And what we're going to wait on now, we got our fair value gap set. All right, so there. Come on. Why didn't that set up? Bim. Get my trader bait hooked back up. Okay. So what we're going to look for here, and we're only going to trade one contract. We're going to be a punk about it. All right, we're looking for this to dip back into this little red area here. And if it does that and then immediately rip out, that's what we want, right? So let's see what it wants to do here. We're risking $51 to try to pick up. All right, we are in the trade. You can follow the trade. It's either going to stomp out I might have jumped a little quick here, but we're going to find out. We are going to find out. See, the other thing too is I got a bad habit of not letting trades finish. And that's my problem. That has been my problem. I explained this in the video that'll drop this afternoon. Is like you got to let the trades play. The strategy is fine. There's nothing wrong with my strategies. They've got edge. But I got no balls lately. It's like I've got no balls lately. And so that's a problem. That is a problem. I don't have a problem losing on a good trade. I don't have a problem doing that. Okay, so let's see. This is actually where it's at, right? So we're going to bring this down here to where this is. And I still want my 2-to-1. So actually, I got to change that. I got to bring this up here. It's a 2-to-1. Because everything changed. Because when I jumped in at a better price, what I was looking for. So let's see if this rejects, comes down, and we'll see where we're at. You can see right here in the little box. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if it'll get bigger. What the hell just happened there? Okay, hold on. I want you guys to be able to see. Here, let's close that up. I want you guys to be able to see where the money is. There you go. Hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know. Probably going to get stopped out of this one. But anyway, right now down $40-something on this one. All right, just stopped out. So that's one trade gone. Right? We just gave back $47. But that's the trade. Right? Now I could have waited on it. I chose not to wait on it. But that was the trade. Broke below opening range. Gave me a closed candle. Came back, wicked in, but it wasn't ready yet. Now, if I'd have been trading minis right there, that would have been a $470 loss, and I'd already be out of the game for the day because I have a $500 cap on how much I'll lose in a day. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Counting Tom, what's going on, brother? Yes, I am here for you this morning, bro. I am here for you this morning. Let's see. Tom, I got a clean beat. Yes, sir. For y'all who don't know, County Tom, he got into an accident. And he got rear-ended. And they tore up the car pretty good. And the guy was paid him cash to shut up and just, be gone with it. So anyway, long story short, Tom's got him a new car. And it's clean, bro. I've seen the pictures. It's clean. It's clean. Race to zero is on. Man, you ain't lying. Yeah, I know what that's talking about. That's Uber and Lyft, man. They're trying to run to zero, bro. They're gonna run us out. What's good, Mr. Kuzz? Hey, that's Buddha. What's going on, Buddha? How you doing this morning, man? Bro, I'm seeing your little. I keep seeing your little videos here and there, dude. I need to, let's go. As the economy tightens up, and what I mean by tightening up is, there's no more free money out there. That free money is gone, y'all. That free money is gone. And what are you going to do? Right? People say, well, the economy's getting worse. It's not getting worse. It's that the free money is gone. The federal government is not handing out money, and they are now clawing back money. So while the overall economy feels like it's getting squeezed, I mean, y'all got to be honest with yourselves. Are you getting squeezed? Are you? Or is what should be our economy, which is less government, less entitlement, less giving money away to other people, right? And the government reducing, and however they got to reduce the deficit, reducing that deficit, and trying to get the country back on track. Good example. I don't know if you guys heard this. The CBO, Congressional Budget Office. When the news was talking about the big beautiful bill, right? Republicans and Democrats. Well, Democrats are just It doesn't matter. And I'm not going to make this political. Democrats don't give a shit about nothing. They're not in power. So anything anybody else comes with, whether it's Republican, independent, the people like us, no matter what comes at them, they hate it automatically. Right? They automatically hate it. Hell, they're celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. Anyway, I'm not going to go there today. The CBO originally said, oh, well, this is going to put, the big, beautiful bill, it's going to cost us $300 billion in deficit. Did y'all see the revision? Now the CBO is saying, no, we were wrong. We're actually going to save $300 billion. And so, you got to look at these things. And so with the tariffs, everybody was up in arms about the tariffs, Who's going to benefit? How do we, you and me, benefit from the tariffs? Well, you might see a spike at Walmart and Target and, some prices on Amazon, whatever. You might see a spike there. What is it? 5%. So for every dollar that an item costs you, it's going to cost you another nickel. So instead of spending $1, you're spending $1.05. Okay. I'll give you that, right? They're trying to pass the tariff onto us, the consumer. Okay, I get it. That's fine. But now those companies, their bottom line start to fall. Their profit margin starts to come down. Because remember, company's going to profit first before you benefit or I benefit. They're going to make their money first, right? Okay. In order for these companies to maintain their profits, they have to keep labor at bay. But with the tariffs, they're not saving on labor anymore by it being made in China or the Philippines or Taiwan or Singapore or, Brazil or wherever it is, right? They're not saving that money anymore. So now they need to bring those jobs, that manufacturing, back to the States. We learned during COVID that we don't make anything in America. We don't make shit, right? We don't make shit. Our drugs come from China. Our phones come from China, right? Our coffee mugs, which I'm going to take another sip, come from China. Our mice, everything comes from freaking China, someplace else. Well, now those manufacturing jobs got to come back here to the States. And what happens when it comes back to the States? Well, now everyday people here in this country get those jobs. And those jobs start making money. Buddha. Well, iPhones come from India, Vinny. Now they come from India, and Apple is actually going to move their production here into the States. So come on, crack it up with me. Chat GPT it with me, buddy. But why should they be made in India? Like, there's a good question. Why do we need to make them in India? Why can't we make them here? Tell me that, Buddha. Why can't we make that iPhone here? Go crack that up and let me know what you come up with. I already know the answer. But now that these jobs have come here, we know Intel is building here. We know NVIDIA is building here. Well, exactly, Buddha. Labor per cost is cheaper. Okay. If labor is cheaper there, but now you got to pay that tariff. And as a consumer here in America, I don't make enough money on as driving as an Uber driver in LA to afford the latest, greatest iPhone 17 propaganda scam piece of shit, right? I can't afford to go buy that new phone. And now, Apple, you're going to levy the tariffs, that percentage increase onto me. Now, I definitely can't afford it. So now what happens? Apple doesn't make as much money. So you see, now they start going down the other way. They start falling down. Okay. But now, bring that phone production here to America. Now, Buddha, instead of turning on the app and giving his hard-earned time and money that he can never get back to Uber or to Dara or to Lyft and Risher, right? Instead of giving that money to them, now Buddha goes to work for Apple. Now Buddha's making $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $35 an hour. And he's able to go out and buy that Apple phone and still have money left over. You understand? You see how it's cyclical, bro? It runs in a circle. In order to have a strong economy, you have to have a strong labor market, right? People got to be able to afford shit. In America, we live in a capitalist society, but people like to buy shit. I like to buy shit. I got 5 items coming today, including a new coffee maker that's probably made in goddamn China, Black & Decker, right? But if I'm not earning enough money, I can't buy those products. If I can't buy those products, Amazon and all of its subsidies can't make any money. If they can't make any money, they go out of business. It's cyclical, bro. If you and I don't make money, companies can't make money because eventually they run out of people willing to pay for it. You know why a restaurant goes out of business? Because they're overpriced and the food sucks. Product is bad. Product is bad. Anyway, let's see. What did Buddha say? No, sir. DEI, I won't be quite. Get the fuck out. Watching from California, work my W-2 and do rideshare part-time. All right, Mr. Ray, welcome to the channel, homie. If you didn't hear, listen, check out the other channel, Tesla Rideshare. I'm going to be moving a lot of rideshare content over to there. Here, I'm going to be doing more trading, more trying to trade. We're already down. We've got one trade in the books on one contract. We're down $47 for the day so far. We are still trading in the range here. This is the opening range. It's about to go to 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock, I make a switch. 10 o'clock now, I go into what we call, let's see, let me make sure I got that in the right spot. 10 o'clock, we're going to open up the silver bullet. At 10 o'clock, let's get rid of that. Let's open up Silver Bullet and see what we can get going with Silver Bullet this morning. Silver Bullet is another ICT strategy concept, and you'll see it here at 10 o'clock. It's all based on the same thing, right? There's a guy that I watch a lot. I've been watching him for 5 years because I used to trade a lot of options. Before I got sick, I used to trade options like nobody's business. And with the options, you know, I used to watch this guy, Vincent DeSano, Options Insider. That guy started out with like $1,000 like 4 years ago. Right? He's making $1 million a year now trading options. Fucking smart. Guy is phenomenally smart. And if I would have stuck with him, well, I was doing well, and then, you know, we got sick, whatever. Okay, so here, fair value gaps forming here. Let's see. We're going to wait and see if this comes back, pops into this. We're only trading one micro today. We're not trading more than one. That's the way it's going to be. All right. So we're going to see if this pops back in here and takes off. We're going to risk $51. Is that a 2-to-1? That's a 3-to-1. We're looking for 2-to-1 trades today. I'm going to try to be disciplined here. All right. So we're risking 51 to make 103, but we need it to pop down into this channel again. Now, this has gotten me in trouble in the past. This has got me in trouble in the past, but we're going to see what it wants to do here. There's a little hesitation. We might get some resistance here at the top of the orb, but we're going to set the trade. Trade is set. Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. It didn't take yet. Okay. I got a problem here already. What's going on here? Is my internet down? Okay, I think I lost my internet there for a minute. Huh. Internet is fading in and out. Internet is fading in and out. I don't know what's going on with my internet. The trade I wanted though. Why? What the hell is going on here? Okay, now it's back up. There's a problem with Trader Bait. It wasn't me, it was Trader Bait. And now we missed the trade. Because you see, it wicked right here, and it would have took So I know a lot of you guys are new to trading. This is Trading View, right? The chart you're looking at right here is Trading View. Over here is my trading computers. Okay. And on this computer over here, I use Trader Bait as my broker. And with Trader Bait as my broker, if it doesn't connect with Trading View, if something goes wrong with Trader Bait, then it doesn't work with Trading View. And I just missed that trade right there because it came in. I had the trade set. It came right in and ticked right here. You guys could see it right here. It ticked right there. Right? And now it's making its run. This was my problem yesterday. You guys are going to see this in the video today. I missed the trade yesterday because I didn't take the goddamn thing. Right? And it was an $800 trade and I blew it. And because I did not take that trade yesterday, because of my own self, right, I wound up chasing the rest of the day. And you'll see in the video, I wound up chasing the rest of the day. I wound up losing $400 yesterday, $409 to be exact. Now, I get the trade. It's all set. I'm ready to go. And Trader Bait gives me a problem. And you can see that I tried to set the trade 2-3 times. And so there it is. So let's see if it would. But you know what? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe it didn't like me talking about Uber. Who the fuck knows? But now we're going to see what happens here. If it gets there, then we know the trade would have been successful. And oh well. Anyway. Oh God, I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. Give me a second, y'all. I gotta shake this off for a second. Give me a second. All right, we're back. Buddha says, well, what is he saying? Well, that brings up washing money in these restaurants that do not do well. Haha, Buddha, you ain't lying. When's the last time you seen somebody in the drive-thru at Arby's? Y'all even know what Arby's is? I know Thomas knows what an Arby's is. When's the last time you seen Arby's with people in the drive-thru? Yeah, me either. Me either. Anyway, I'm telling you, Arby's, every Arby's must be they got to be drug dealing. They got to be drug dealing, bro. There's no way they can't be drug dealing. You know what I'm saying? Can't be. Anyway. Whoo. See, we got 5 people watching. Hey, it's 5 more than I normally have. Oh, man. Anyway, you guys can still hear me. Are you still here? Are you still here? I don't know. Oh, all right. So we are going to stay online until about 10:30. We're not happy right now because, you know, Trader Bait just cost me money. You know, the big thing too is my pivot is this. And it's not only this, it's what I do on Amazon, right? Amazon is a big pivot for me too. My buddy Richie hustles as an influencer. He's really okay. So that trade would have been good. You guys see it tapped out there. That would have been good for $104.50, $100. in about was that about 8 minutes? Would have been good. And so instead of being upside down $47 today, we'd be up approximately, I don't know, somewhere around $55, $60 for the day. Would have been a good start to the day. But for whatever reason, this shit just didn't work. So we can get rid of that trade. That's done. Yeah, that's done. Not happy with that. Anyway, so now we look for the next trade. Now we look for the next trade. So the other thing I do is also I will move on my orb from the 15-minute orb to the 21-minute orb. So now we can take this out. And what we're going to look for here after we get done, I'm going to put it up on the other computer, is now what I want to do is on the opening range breakout, I will change to the 5-minute chart. And I want to see if we break back below the opening range high, and I can get a fair value gap on a 5-minute chart, and there we'll go short. If we get down here to the opening range low on the 30-minute chart, and we start to reverse and go back up, and I get a 5-minute fair value gap, I'll take a trade long. It's just strategies. That's all it is. Anybody who pretends like they're the absolute god of trading, they're full of shit. And this is just stuff that I picked up off, people watching online, and it works. It does work. Nobody's 100% on their trades. You can have a 60, 70% win rate and still be upside down in your account all day long. I know, because that's me right now. I've got a pretty high win rate. And, but, let me do it this way. Here's that. Setting up my other chart over here. You guys can see the other chart. Take that into the 5-minute now. Open that up there. Okay. So I got the 5-minute orb over there. We're still in the silver bullet, ICT silver bullet here. Is anybody still with me? I got nobody in the chat. Chat's dead. Where's the chat at? Chat, where you at, chat? Speak on it, chat. Where you at, chat? Where you at, chat? Yo, Richie Hustles. Okay, you're good. Still there. So like I was saying, for me, trading is a good pivot. Follow me here. They say you can't day trade. Most day traders lose. Okay. Most poker players lose. Okay. In life, you got two choices. Like, seriously, you only got two choices. You can work for somebody, be secure, and at any given moment, they can fire you and tell you to kiss their ass, kick rocks. Or you can try to do something for yourself and try to make it happen yourself and not rely on somebody else, and just rely on yourself to make your moves. Is it easier to go to work for somebody else? Of course it is. When we look at Uber and Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, Grubhub, all of these, Amazon Flex, Walmart Spark, yada, yada, Instacart, yada, yada, yada. It's real easy to take this phone, flip that bitch on, and go to work. Well, let me rephrase that. Turn on the app and wait and hope you get a request, or hope you get a delivery, or hope you get this, that, or the other. And then when you do get that request, you hope you're making some money. Or you can learn other skills, right? You can learn other skills. I've done it both ways. Most of you guys know. 21 years union, raised a family, a beautiful family off that money, damn good money, but it was blood money. I mean, I was working. It was no 9 to 5, bro. I didn't have a 9 to 5. I had a, when we need you, your ass needs to be here. And they paid me damn good money to be there. But, you start looking at guys that as soon as they retire out at 60, 65, within 3 months, they drop dead. And so they just worked an entire lifetime and they didn't get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Now, I'm not enjoying any fruits right now. My kids are great, but it's just me and the VIP now. We're just riding out, trying to make it work. It's not easy, right? And then you go from there. So for me, I'm trying to do it this way with the trading. It's not easy. It's damn sure not easy, and there's a lot to learn. And you can do everything right, like you saw in that first trade. You can do everything right and still be wrong. It happens. The difference in trading is risk management. Then you got stuff like Amazon, the influencer program, right? Where if you put in the effort, which I'm sometimes lazy with, a lot of times lazy with, but if you put in the effort, like you can pay your monthly bills just with Amazon influencing program if you get there, right? Richie does very well, extremely well. And, you might not make a video for a month or two, but your videos are stacked. Your catalog is stacked there. It's not like YouTube. YouTube, you guys come, you hang out with me for a little bit. We shoot the shit. We talk trash about Uber, Lyft, whatever. We do some trading, right? Because I'm keeping it real with you, right? I'm keeping it real. And, you're still making money. YouTube, you come, you watch the one video, you're done for the day. You're not going to come back and watch this again. You're with me live now because for some people, they're at work, like a Richie, like a Thomas, right? Thomas yells at me all the time. Vinny, I need you on live, bro. I need you to help get me through my day. And okay, I'm cool with that. I'm going to be here trading anyway. Why not share it with you guys? But the other point of that is, right? Richie's at work doing his thing. My guy, Uncle Richie, is at home waiting for his clients, and he might be listening. Eddie's out there in Austin banging his head against the asphalt trying to make money while he's trading and while he's working, right? But you're only here for right now. With Amazon, the influencer program, I got videos from a year ago that are still making a small piece of change. Amazon influencers don't make a lot of money. Could be anywhere from 1.3% of the product cost, to on I'm talking average now. No extra bonus, no extra nothing. 1.3 to 4% on average. So for every dollar, right? An Amazon influencer might get, 2 pennies or 4 pennies for that product. But if you got the right product, or if it's a product that's in demand, the video doesn't go away. People still see those videos. And so you have an opportunity to make money that way. That's how it works. That's how it works. Prop firm game, right? Prop trading. There's 2 ways to trade. You can trade your money, your capital. So if you're an Uber driver, you know how hard it is to make $100 a day right now, clean, right? I mean, clean. For me, for the few hours that I put in out there, I might make $100 clean on Saturday and or Sunday. Last Saturday I didn't. Last Saturday I think I made like $70 clean, right? And I was out there all fucking day. If the work's not there, you can't make no money. And that $70 clean's got to go to bills. So there's no extra. So I can't trade my capital because I'm not making enough money to pay my bills and then go out there and try to trade the market. So people turn to prop firms. Look at this shit. This shit's going to smack. You guys don't remember, this was the all-time high, or this is all-time high for NASDAQ, by the way. 24,766, which was the overnight high. It might get there, bro. It might get there. Anyway, so you might be like Thomas. You might be working 2 or 3 jobs to try to make ends meet. And so you don't have that extra money to go out and do these different things. You want to do them, but if you don't have the money to do it, you can't do it. Right? So what do you do? Well, if you're into trading and you want to learn how to trade, you get into the prop firm space. So the prop firm space is pretty much you pay for an evaluation, right? If you pass that evaluation, they move you into what they call a SIM funded account. Now, some people you pay everything up front. Some people you pay a little bit up front for the eval and then more to activate the SIM fund, whatever, right? And they're all different. That's a whole different ball game. But once you're in the SIM funded, bro, you're trading for real money. right? So say on your evaluation, you got to profit $3,000 in 30 days. That's basically what a 50K account is. You got to profit $3,000 in 30 days. Okay, calendar days, not even trading days, calendar days. Only gets you about 20 trading days. And without losing $2,500. So you can't go down $2,500. You got to be up $3,000. Then they move you up. Now you got to do the same thing again. They've got different prop firms, got different rules. Some might need you at a 40% consistency rule, some at 50% consistency rule, which just simply means, whatever your total profit target is, in this case, $3,000, your biggest profiting day can't be more than 50% of your total profit. So what does that mean? Well, you can't make more than $1,500 in one day. If you make more than $1,500 in one day, then your goal of $3,000 increases by the amount that you went over on that one single day. And is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. I don't care. It is what it is. Right now, I'm in a sim funded account and I've got a 40% consistency rule. So I can't make more than $1,200 in one single day. But if I can do $1,200 in 3 days, that's $3,600. I get paid. I get the cheddar. So it matters. Now, here is where the prop game, this is where the prop game shines. You deal with all the bullshit. Right. And listen, if you got a regular job, a 9 to 5, whatever, you got rules, right? Whether it's what you wear to work, being on time, being late, what time you take your break, what time you don't take your break, lunch, you got rules. You got to shave, no shave. You can wear a thong like Richie Hustles, or, you got to wear a skirt like Thomas, but y'all understand what I mean. You got rules. Prop games got rules too. You get past their rules, well, the way the prop games make the money, these guys online are making the money, is they're not just trading one account. They're trading 3 accounts, 5 accounts. And with one particular prop firm, you can trade up to 20 accounts. So now you say, well, Vinny, okay. You say, Vinny, well, that last trade would have put you up $104, right? Okay. But what if I had 5 accounts? Now that $104 just became $520. You see what I'm saying? Because you copy trade. So you have one account, and then whatever you do on this one account happens on the other 4 accounts. So now you got 5 accounts moving. Now, so instead of making $100 a day, you're making $500 a day. The reverse is true too. If you lose $100, then you just lost $500. But you understand the trade-off. And so it forces you to make really good, honest decisions. Everybody should learn how to trade the market, whether you're day trading, whether you're swing trading, whether it's stocks, whether it's futures, whether it's crypto, whatever it is, everybody should learn how to trade. Do you know why? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I wish I would have learned this when I was 20 years old, right? You know why? Because trading will teach you more about life discipline than anything else. Risk management, control your money, learn how to budget, strategize, plan, discipline, follow through, risk reward. Okay. If you screw up, you pay the cost. If you do well, you reap the benefits. I could go on with the rules of trading and how they apply to life. If you can, it's not even about mastering trading, bro. It's not. It's about taking what it's teaching you. And yeah, like I said earlier, you could do everything right and still get popped in the ass on the back end. That's life. Anyway, I'm preaching today. I am preaching today. I ain't trying to preach, bro. I ain't trying to preach. Welcome to the Kuzz Dome. That's what I should call this shit the Kuzz Dome, huh? And you see how, I got my two little cameras up here, let's see, how can I do this? There we go. You see, that's my little trading shit. This y'all over here, right? You can see me right there. Boom, 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 boom. This camera here, the Osmo 5, I'm going to get that review done today or tomorrow. This camera here, that's the Elgato. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Let's get back into the comments. Richie hustles, or you can work your 9 to 5 while you work on your business and make even more money while being stable. 100%. Some jobs will let you do that. But Richie, let's be honest, Richie. Let's be honest, dog. Right? You set up those other businesses, and now you're back to a 9 to 5. And so now they're working in concert together. And so, you used to see a lot of people say, well, you go work your 9 to 5, and then you work on your businesses afterwards. 100 goddamn %. Without question, I don't care how you get there, just get there, right? They talk about that in religion, all right? They talk about religion that way, don't they? Everybody's trying to get to God. Ain't nobody in a hurry to get there. Everybody wants to meet Jesus. Everybody wants to meet Jesus. Ain't nobody in a rush to get there, though, are they? Work on your hustle. Work on, that's what Uber and Lyft was supposed to be. It was a side hustle. Create that extra cash flow. Teach you how to run a business. Do all this other shit. You know what I learned before I even messed with Uber and Lyft? Is if you run a business that's dependent on another business, you're not running a business. Let me steal Charlie Kirk's line. Prove me wrong. Because if that other business makes one little change from the original intent and or agreement that you came into that business for, they make one little change. It cascades, snowballs down, and now you're assed out. You know what happens here with trading? I don't have to depend on nobody. What happens here is all on me. This is the only thing I've got right now that depends on me. I have to read the market. I have to read the charts. I have to understand the news. I've got to get a feel for old girl here. And does she want to be romantic today? Or does she just want it straight and done? That's the market. When I go to turn on this app later, well, actually, I dropped out the VIP this morning to the Tri-Rail. I turned on the app. I was there earlier. I said, let me get this going, right? And Richie, hold on. I'm going to get you in a minute, Uncle Richie. And I turned on the app. Drove 20 minutes back to the house. Did I get a request? Nope. Again, that's me depending on another business to generate my income. Now, when I was in business for myself, I had my own little book. I didn't have to depend on anybody, but life is different. So let's get to some more of these. Buddha, I made $4.80 on Uber Eats last night. That's phenomenal, bro. That's fucking banging, dude. Let Uncle Richie borrow $20. Let's go. Mr. Techniques. Yeah, Florida at the moment is dead. It's been the worst off season I've seen in a while. Mr. Techniques, you're not wrong about that, bro. I tried documenting it, throughout the summer on the channel, and it's just not easy. Not easy. Buddha says not easy. Oh, you just did it on Uber. Okay. Okay, that's there. Richie Hustles. I made $4.80 before I woke up. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the thing. Like Richie Hustles wants to do some collaboration stuff. I want to do some collaboration stuff. We talk all the time now. Now that he's my friend again. And so, he's not wrong. You got to do what you got to do. Invest in Bitcoin and relax. Well, I mean, you can do the same thing with SPY, the S&P. You can just invest and let that money build. There's nothing wrong with that either. Absolutely. Richie Berger. Uncle Richie. No, you depend on the prep company. The fuck is a prep company? You mean prop firms? I don't depend on the prop firms. I know the rules before I get in. I pay my money. I ain't got to worry about it. There's a difference. There is a difference. And Ray, man, I try not to preach, bro, because I don't feel comfortable with that. I just try to express. I try to express what I think is right. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm always wrong. Ask my wife; she'll tell you I'm never right. I'm never right about nothing. Till she comes back and says, "You know what? Maybe you were right." It's okay, bruh. It's okay. Good dividends, paying stocks, you can't go wrong. I agree. That's why you diversify, right? Just like Uncle Richie here. I sent him one the other day, TSM. They announced now 82 cents per share dividend. All utilities, AT&T, all of these companies, there are a lot of companies, US Steel, they got dividends out there. So if you don't know what a dividend stock is, it's pretty simple. You invest in them. You don't trade it. You just leave it. Every quarter or half or whatever, however they got it set up, they're going to give you a little bit of a return on that investment. So say you got a $20 stock and they give you a 50-cent dividend. So now instead of having $20 at that moment, now you got $20.50. You take that 50 cents, roll it back into the stock, and eventually you accumulate even more stock. Did I get that right, Uncle Richie? Is that about right there, buddy? Anyway, that one trade might have been the trade for the day, bro. That might have been the trade for the day. You guys saw it live, right? Trader rate went down. Like trader rate's down right now again. How can I show you? Can I even show you this? Can you see this screen here? Here, hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, don't go nowhere. Hold on. What the fuck? There you go. See that screen right there? That's my broker. And it just came back up now. So I don't know if I'm having internet issues here. Could be. And I just got Comcast, man. What the fuck? Tell you, they don't make it easy, bro. They don't make it easy. Anyway, not cool. Not cool, Comcast. Not cool. But you guys were live. You guys were here with me when this went down. And so, you guys saw the trade, though. You saw it live. And so we missed out on that trade. Same thing that happened yesterday. Yesterday I just blew the trade. I blew the trade yesterday. So anyway, yes, that is correct. Thank you, Uncle Richie. I wanted to make sure I got it right. I don't want to be giving out no fake news or false information. If you find a good stock that you like, you stay with it. Like what you call it? Richie Hustle says, buy your Bitcoin and sit on it. Could you imagine sitting on Bitcoin from 2017 right now? And you didn't budge, didn't sell none of it, didn't have to pay any bills. Be $115,000 right now for a Bitcoin. You could have got it at less than $3,000 back in 2020. I wouldn't know anything about that. Less it was 3,700. I wouldn't know anything about that. No. Oh, sore subject. Anyway, I think that's it, y'all. It's an hour on here, and I'm running my money. I'm running my mouth a little bit. Oh, I got tech and effects. Where's he at? I thought I saw him, bro. Where? How come I'm not getting tech and effects? I see Steven. Steven, where you at, Steven? You're in the side chat, but I don't see you in the regular chat, bro. What happened here? Anyway, that's all I got for this morning. Like I said, I hope you guys will tune in, and later on this afternoon, you can see what I went through yesterday with the trading. It's a 20-minute long video though, but if you stick with it, I appreciate it. If you can get through half of it, I'd appreciate that too. The reason that video is out is because of Steven. Steven said, put it out anyway. Don't worry about it. Richie also says, put it out anyway. Don't worry about it. And so, you know what? That's what I'm trying to do. So we got the two channels going now. You got Vinny Kuzz. We're going to talk trading, Amazon. We'll be back to our podcast next week. We're going to be doing what we got to do there. Rideshare content, Tesla content, that kind of stuff. We'll be moving over to the Tesla Rideshare channel. I would appreciate it if you guys go over there. Matter of fact, let me link it up now, because I know a lot of people are going to be in. That's what they're here for. They want to talk rideshare, and I don't have a problem talking rideshare. I just don't want it to be my main focus here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be the main focus. So here's the channel. You guys can go sub over there. I would appreciate it. Pink. Paste. There you go. Link is in the chat. Right? You guys can see it there. The link is in the chat. I'd appreciate you guys going and giving that channel a sub if you haven't done it already. Help build that channel out. That's going to be a lot of reviews, focus, stuff like that. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Hope everybody has a great day. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Keep me busy. Keep me on my toes, y'all. Keep me on my toes. And with that, we'll see you next time.